Today we will talk about a difficult story from the book of Genesis. It is the account of when Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, took Abraham's wife Sarah into his palace. This happened during a famine in Canaan when Abraham and Sarah traveled to Egypt seeking food. This story is packed with nuance and detail that we often glance over. When we take a deeper look, it contains profound lessons for us as followers of Christ. Lessons about the complexity of trust in God in a fallen world, lessons about taking matters into our own hands when we feel afraid, and lessons about God's faithfulness through the ups and downs of life. To begin, let's set the stage. Abram, later named Abraham, was a man of great faith. When God called him to leave his homeland and family, Abram obeyed. God led him to Canaan with the promise that his offspring would become a great nation inhabiting that land. The problem was that Abraham's wife Sarai, later named Sarah, had been unable to bear children. Here they were, already elderly, still without an heir. Yet God promised them a biological child. And Scripture says, Abraham believed the Lord, and God counted it to him as righteousness. Abram's faith pleased God. Now fast forward several years, Abram and Sarai are still childless. A severe famine strikes Canaan, making it difficult to even find food. Abram hears that Egypt has food, so he decides to take his family there for a while. But before they enter Egypt, Abram becomes afraid. He worries that the Egyptians will notice his beautiful wife and kill him in order to take her. So he hatches a plan. He asks Sarai to lie and say she is only his sister, not his wife. That way, he hoped the Egyptians would not kill him if they wanted her for themselves. Sarai agrees to the plan and does lie about their marital status. When they enter Egypt, just as Abraham predicted, the princes of Pharaoh notice Sarai's beauty. And before long, they take her into Pharaoh's palace. Pharaoh intends to take her as a wife, oblivious to the lie. So here is the plot twist. The king actually commits adultery, having taken another man's wife, but he doesn't know it's wrong because Abraham and Sarah deceived him. Meanwhile, Abraham prospers during his time in Egypt. Scripture says he acquired sheep, oxen, donkeys, male and female servants, female donkeys, and camels. Even as his wife lives in Pharaoh's harem, Abram becomes a wealthy man. But the Lord is not pleased with this situation, so he afflicts Pharaoh and his household with great plagues. The deception must be exposed. Pharaoh summons Abram and demands to know why he lied about his marital status. Abram has little choice but to come clean. He confesses that Sarai actually is his wife. Pharaoh is outraged. He castigates Abram for misleading him and putting him in this compromised position. In his rebuke, Pharaoh reveals a moral sensibility we might not expect. As a pagan king, we'd assume he'd have no qualms about adultery. But clearly he did. By deceiving him,